Okay, throughout this last module, we're going to work on pop-ups and we're going to work on applications. As we wrap this up and as we go through this module, I would encourage you to have your system open and to be building alongside, especially if you have been doing it in the past, and if not, you might have some catching up to do. But this will be a overview of different ways to go about adding information and kind of popping it out. But again, I encourage you please to be working in your own system at the same time on your own community. So you may not be building the Atlanta map, you might be building one from St. Louis. But please do it alongside. And for that reason, this module is a little bit shorter than the hour to give you ample time to be able to complete building your own map and being able to launch an app. All right, now that we've got our layers all layered together, let's formulate our pop-ups a little bit so that we can understand them when we play with them. All right, so this is our first pop-up. We'll just kind of work our way down the layers. So this is the demographic and income housing. So this is on the Black population layer. We have all these different choices here. That's a little bit more than I think I want to give people. I actually want to go in and I'm going to change this, because that's not what it is. It was the okay, Black population percentage. And then I'm actually going to leave this in just because I want to look at it. But I'm going to add some text here, and these the squiggly kind of it's called a curl bracket. That is how you will add attributes. So these are your different attributes. So we're actually going to write a line here that says total percentage of, and we could do the bracket here and do 2024. Now, this is going to be really important, is that you make sure that you have the right capitalization or it won't work. Black population in Atlanta. And then, so there's anything else, so we can say, because it's the name of the census block is Georgia Tech. Home value could be 2024 average home value. And I'm going to make these look a little bit better. Change it font if I want. Okay. All right. So if I do that and look, what's at the bottom? So total percentage of, oh, why has it got 314? What is that? So that's not going to work at all. Let's get rid of the text. Let's change that up. So the average, so this is the total percentage of Black population. Atlanta. We put the average home value here. And then let's do the average. Let's see. Let's do median income. And we can look over here and see median household income. So we do 2024. Median household income. There we go. And once it's in there, I could go and put money sign in front of it. I cannot do that before because I needed to pick that value first. But let's look and see what that looks like. There we go. Median income value of 136. Average home value is right there. And say I want to add one more. Let's do a bar chart just to be able to see it. Income versus house value. Describe the chart. Well, I think we're okay. So we're going to go down here and we're going to choose median household income and median household value. Done. And I'm going to change these colors. Oh, let's see. All right, so now you can see income versus housing value. There is quite a disparity between these two. They pop up, which is kind of cool. And because I've done all of that, I don't think there's any more information that I think I want out of here. Okay. So I've got that one is now a generated pop-up. I am done with this piece. So I'm actually going to delete. And now that layer, I'm not loving that. There we go. All right. So that one is done. Now, let's go, we can go into RICRA. I think that one is probably okay. Let's look at it. That one's pretty short and sweet. We could change the title and just say active hazardous waste facilities. And then I think we could probably let's see if we want. I think that's good. Why don't we just leave it like that. Okay? Our impaired streams. Let's see what that one looks like. Oop. So what I've done here, why it won't let me click on it over here, is because I've clicked on the group. What I want to do is make sure that I'm clicking on this, so because that's the pop-up that's going to show up. And now I can come over to my pop-ups. There we go. Now, I am okay with the title. I think that we could do the same, and let's add another text box. that says name in county is impaired. How about we do is valuation is not supporting its designated use as a, go down here, use, again with the capital, as a fishing user type and then water type. Okay? And we can say it is contaminated with violations. Okay, let's see what that did. Woodall Creek in Fulton. Oh, we need to add Fulton County in there. Let's do that real quick. Is not supporting its designated use as a fishing stream. It is contaminated with fecal coliform, zinc, lead, PCE, and yeah. And let's see here. There's anything else? And let's see, we might add notes. Let's just add notes because that's kind of interesting. It might be worthwhile somebody knowing. And then instead of the county, let's do this. Is all right, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Woodall Creek, located in the headwaters to Peachtree Creek, Atlanta, is not supporting its designated use as a fishing stream. It is contaminated. The TMDL is completed for fecal coliform in 2003. There you go. Source of trichloroethylene contamination is I2 contamination is being handled by EPD's hazardous waste branch. Corrective action plans underway. Goodness gracious. Now, the last question would be, is there anything in here that we would want to turn into some kind of a chart? And I really don't think that there is as much. All right, we have the name of the creek, got the name of the basin. I guess let's add that in. Headwaters to Peachtree Creek. Let's do this. Name is located in the basin. There we go. Chattahoochee Basin. Let's say watershed. Okay. Now, let's do this. I'm going to change these up a little bit. I want to see some blue. Okay. It is located in, that's fine. Change this to red. Valuation is not meeting it. And then its contamination with, and we're going to put the violations in red. done. And let's put the notes in bold. And I'm going to bold the name. All right, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Woodall Creek, located in the headwaters of Peachtree Creek, land is not supporting its designated uses. I don't think that's too bad. Let's make it just a little bit bigger. See if we like that. There we go. And now, because we're done here, let's go ahead and delete that. All right, there we go. So now when you click on one of the creeks, you'll see Woodall Creek, located in the headwaters of Peachtree Creek, is not supporting its designated uses, which is great. All right, so we have made it through 2 of them. I think this one is probably pretty good. See, it's already generated quite well. We don't really need to do much there. We've got our impaired streams are currently turned off. That's fine. And let's look at our vegetative cover, and our toxic releases will be our last 2. So in our Atlanta vegetation cover, let's look at our canopy. And this thing right here is a hot mess. But I am not sure that it is going to let us edit it. I don't think it's going to. So that is sometimes the case when you're pulling maps offline. They don't want to let you edit them. And it does seem like this is one of those, which is unfortunate because their pop-up is pretty infuriating. So we will leave that one alone, unfortunately. And then with our last one, the toxic releases, let's come down here to our pop-up field list. That's got all kinds of stuff here. So let's go ahead again. Let's add our title. So this is let's do this. Let's go. I know what we'll do. Okay, let's do waste managed. Oh, it's not going to let us do it. Well, it should. I don't know if it will, though. Nope, not the title. That's okay. All right, so our title is the toxic releases in Atlanta. And let's see if, actually, I'll tell you what, we'll just go down here because really and truly we're going to get rid of this, so I guess it doesn't much matter. All right, so let's add in a text right here and say that I want to do a total release. So let's do TRI name, facility name, or let's do let's do the facility name releases and then we'll do waste. Manages per year of chemical, and then I can actually put down here if we want to do the total releases. So we could do their air releases. There we go. Water releases. And then let's see if there's another. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we want to pull out of here. We've got the chromium. We don't really need to know the sensors track. Let's see what that looks like. All right. Maine Steel Polishing Company manages 73,000 pounds per year of chromium, air releases, water releases, and then we should add some total releases in there, okay? So let's edit our text one more time. Manages pounds per year of the chemical. Air releases, total water releases, total waste. Well, actually, let's leave that one off. Let's do this. I'm going to make that bolded. I also want to make that bright red. Done. And I'm going to do the same here. Bolded. Red. Okay. And then, oops, I'm going to bold these guys. Okay. There we go. And I'll be honest with you, I'm going to click on it one more time. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. And then I want to go up here and I'm going to add one more thing. Let's see. I can probably delete that now. Let's add content. Let's do a chart. And let's stick with the bar chart here. It's like, let's see, total releases by type. Okay. And then let's go down to select our fields. And our fields are releases, air releases, water releases, land releases. There we go. Offsite releases. And waste managed. Well, that's interesting. They're off-site releases on this site. Okay. But that's all right. That's what we wanted to know. So now we can look here and we can see that Maine Steel Polishing manages 73,000 pounds per year of chromium. Their total air releases are 10 pounds. Total water releases are 0. And we really need to go back in here. Add pounds. Add pounds. Total land releases. And then total offsite. So now we have quite a big pop-up, but that's all right. It's telling us a decent amount. And now I really don't like our toxic. Release ATL 2024. Let's change that up and just do Main Steel Polishing Company. And then we'll do toxic releases. Okay. I think that'll do it. All right. So we are done with that one. And I think that gets us pretty much done with all of our pop-ups. So now our pop-ups look a lot better when we're flipping through. Oh, we still have this neighborhood park we could deal with. Yep, we got all these neighborhoods and the demographics. That's all right. I'll go in offline. I will clean those up. I'm actually just going to empty most of those out to look very standard like we did with the others. But now we have our pop-ups formulated, and the next step is to start making an app so that we can sell this, so that we can communicate this out and make it available to the public. I'm going to save, make sure you save. I'm going to close this stuff out, kind of look at what I'm looking at. And again, we got a kind of a hot mess, but that's all right. See where our toxics release, how does that look? Our waste facility. There we go. Got some toxic releases in there. That's great. All right, cool. Well, next thing's next. We're going to start pulling this into an app and start making it so that people can understand what it is we've created. As I get ready to pull this into an app is a program that makes it easier to understand your information and your data. And the one that I want to use actually uses 4 maps like this. So I need to save my map in 4 different places because it's going to ask me to update and add different maps. So all I'm going to do, pretty easy, is go in here with my different layers, and I'm going to turn them on and off as I want to save my different versions of my map. So I can turn my group layer off for the HUD. I could leave that. I could leave it on. Housing, medium income, I could turn stuff off. I could turn my vegetation layer off however I want. I just come in here and I save. Excuse me. It's not the right one. I save as. And then I will have the opportunity to save this version of my map however I would like to do it. So, save as. We're still trying to share. I can fill out my information and then I will save that over into my file. And then when I get into the next map, it becomes very easy to upload those. So just to see, so you can see what that looks like now, is when I go into my content panel, I now can see the different variety of maps that I've put together, right? So now when I go into my instant apps to create, I actually want to do this compare one. So I'm going to choose that one. We're going to choose Create app. And we got to give it a second because it's going to formulate up all those components and help make it so that it is in the layout that we want. It does take a second, but that's okay. It also depends on your broadband. All right, so now we can press step 1 and we can do a comparison method. I actually want to do 4 different maps, and we will start selecting a map or a scene. So we'll do the black population. We can configure the map area if we want to decide what scale we want. All right, that looks pretty good. Save that. Map 2. We'll do the income versus housing prices. Same thing, it's now uploading. And it is in a slightly different version, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how you can get away with that. Select 3. We could do our redlining. And then on map 4, I'm going to go down to my big map. There we go. Now, if I want to add descriptive text about each one of these, I can add it here. If I want my map headers, which I do, I can add them there. I can synchronize the maps when they load. I can synchronize the pop-ups so that when I click on one, it clicks up in all 4. You see that? And I can change wherever my descriptive text is. So, all right. Now we have the 4 on there, and it's time to start making it sing. Now I've gotten my 4 maps in here. I changed it up so that I have one of my original map in the bottom right. And so now I want to play with it a little bit, and let's put some descriptive text in here. This is a series of maps looking disparity issues in Atlanta. Okay, and then I want to turn on my headers. Go. I want to synchronize the maps so that they are the same size. When people log in, synchronize the maps on the load and the pop-ups. Next, there's any extra text I want to have. I could do a shortcut to the menu, do an introduction window. So, maps is attempting to understand the ongoing effects of redlining in the Atlanta population and ongoing pollution burdens versus housing prices. Okay, let's close that. We can explore. And if we want to do a fixed location for our pop-up, we can do that, which is fine. The bottom right is fine with me. Okay, now we can do a series of different things. So I'm going to add a find your current location. We've got the home button. We've got our zoom controls. There's a scale bar if I want to put it on there. We can compare layouts if we want to. We can expand a map or a scene in case somebody wants to get more information. We definitely want to do that. And then we can select a mode. We could go light, we could go dark if we wanted to. That actually looks pretty good. And then move these around. So I can move my find current location to the top right if I'd like. If I think that works better. I can move my scale bar. I can move my shortcuts menu. I can change it up however I would like. All right. The one thing I would like to have is my pop-up menu. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. I think we should be all the way good to go. We got our 4 maps. We can add descriptive text here if we want to. So the first one is the, okay. It's having a good time freaking out, isn't it? All right, so now we have all of our titles. We have our information. We have a series of different maps that we can now share. I am going to go ahead and publish this. I would like to see what it's going to look like before we do that. So why don't we go in and make sure that we do that before we start. I'm about ready to publish this, but I do want to see what it's going to look like in different versions. So this is what it'll look like on a desktop. That's what it'll look like in a portrait scene on your phone. And then landscape. Now again, with this, you can always click and increase one of these maps and go through your census blocks here. There you go. So I like what I see. If I want to add in some Adobe or some Google Analytics, if I have them, I can add them here. I'll have to add in my data, my tracking information right there. Same for Adobe. And then I just click publish. I can confirm that I want to publish my app. Now, when I first publish this, it is only going to be accessible by me. I will have to go in and open it and make it accessible for the public. So there's our frame. So you can see the sharing level is owner. I can change my settings right here if I want. Organization to everyone in the public. Or I could share it with a group. And there we go. So let's go back to our content. Just to make sure it is there. And then when we click on it, there we go. So let's view it. Make sure we're still doing good. It's going to give us our warning. And then it's going to pop up our different maps. And we can explore these as we would like. That's our little info. And we can even look for ourselves. And each one of these you can click on and you can see what the black percentage is, what the median income is. You can go through all of these different pieces as you see fit. There you go. All right. Well, we have created our first app. I do want to show you there are lots of different apps that may be the more appropriate for what you've created. I've created a myriad of different ones throughout the years. So please play around with them. There's lots of templates. There could be this one's trying to give. Oh, it only wants to give me the results from myself. Sorry. See, we got featured maps. There you go. So you could actually go in here, learn a lot more about it. Learn about the manager, reporter, themes, all that you could ever want right here. But other than that, we now have our first map that has an app that has the data inside of it. And now the next step will be for us to go in and start creating a story map. And that story map will help us describe what issues we're facing in the community.